Wait till it stops.
So sometimes we all get stalled at the starting line when it comes to writing. But in this lesson, we're going to review that milestone statement. An expanded vocabulary enhances a person's ability to express ideas and information clearly and succinctly. And we're going to start talking about a writing strategy to help us answer this question in the Check Your Understanding activity for this lesson. We're going to answer that question: how does an expanded vocabulary help us to communicate our ideas clearly and succinctly? And we've been working on acquiring some grade level vocabulary within this past unit. So what are we going to be able to do by the end of this lesson? What's our objective, our goal to hit? Two things. First, we wanted to be able to define the RACES strategy. What do all those letters stand for? And then second, we want to apply the RACES strategy to answering our achievement milestone question. So we'll be doing some of the planning together in this lesson. All right, let's define what RACES stands for, this acronym. Each letter stands for a step in the strategy. R, we want to restate the question. A, answer the question. C, cite evidence of our answer. E, expand or explain. And then S, summarize your answer. We're going to take a look at each one of these steps and how to apply it. When we think of RACES, that first R is restate the question. We're going to use that green light and go ahead and tell the readers what you're writing about. This is going to be your topic sentence when you are writing. So let's apply that strategy right away and start with our question. When we restate a question, we need to take out the question words: who, what, where, when, why, how. In our question, we have how does as our question words at the beginning of our question. So we're going to use the editing mark of a line with a little E at the end. That means delete that out of there. We don't need it. So we want to start with a capital letter on our statement. 3 lines underneath means, hey, you need to capitalize that when you go back and rewrite. Also, we're changing the question to a statement. We need to take out that question mark at the end and put in a period as the punctuation, so that when we're finished, it no longer looks like a question, but it looks like a statement. An expanded vocabulary enhances a person's ability to express ideas and information clearly and succinctly. Now we have our topic sentence. Next, we're going to look at the A in RACES, answer the question. This is where we look at that yellow light. We want to slow down and give facts, reasons, and details that support the topic. Ask yourself questions like, what's the evidence? How do I know? What is the reason for this answer? This is going to make up the body of your paragraph when you answer. Now let's apply this strategy to answering our milestone question. Now that we have our topic, we need to come up with some answers. So what are some things we've learned about in this unit that will help us answer this question? We've talked about a lot of them, so let's brainstorm. We've talked about academic vocabulary. We've talked about context clues, how to use them, how to see them. We've talked about connotation and denotation in the meanings of words. We've talked about grouping and labeling words, like words together, meaning the same kinds of things, the synonyms. We've talked about synonyms and antonyms, words that mean the opposite. We've talked about roots and affixes and how that affects a word and changes its meaning. When you go to write about your milestone questions, I suggest taking about 3 of these topics and writing a little bit more in depth. So I'm going to choose academic vocabulary, speaking that common language. I think I'm going to choose connotation and denotation. That helps me to communicate feelings as well as ideas when I write. And grouping and labeling, that kind of helps me expand my word choices. So we're going to work on those 3 as an example in this lesson. Now it's time for us to stop. Use that red light. We're going to expand the body of our paragraph and explain how our evidence supports the topic. So we're going to stop things here and grow the body of our paragraph. Make sure we have the evidence that we need and that all of our support points back to the topic. Okay, let's apply the E portion, the explain, to our milestone question. So we've stopped and we're going to take a look at the three that we've chosen to answer the question: academic vocabulary, connotation and denotation, and grouping and labeling. First, academic vocabulary. Well, what about that helps me to communicate ideas clearly and succinctly? It helps us speak a common language so we all know what we're talking about. Connotation and denotation. How does that support our topic of communicating clearly and succinctly? Well, that helps us to add more meaning to what we're saying and what we're writing by making our readers feel and make connections to the word through connotation of words, rather than just their dictionary definition. And then finally, in grouping and labeling, it gives us a bigger variety of word choices when we look at synonyms and words that have similar meaning. So we can take our three main points where we slowed down to answer the question, and we can expand them a little bit by explaining what each one of them does to support the topic. We've come to the S in RACES. We want to summarize our answers. When we summarize our answers, we want to go back and remind our readers of what we're writing about. A simple way to do that is just rephrase your topic sentence in a different way. This will be the conclusion statement of your paragraph. Finally, as we apply this summarizing our answer, we're going to go back and restate that topic sentence so that we can have a conclusion to our paragraph. Our topic sentence was: an expanded vocabulary enhances a person's ability to express ideas and information clearly and succinctly. If I were to change those words and say the same thing in a different way, I'm going to be looking for some synonyms to close up my paragraph. So I might write something like this: as you can see, an expanded vocabulary helps a person share ideas and information clearly. Here I have a concluding statement that just retells my topic sentence. Now it's time for a quick review. Do you remember what R.A.C.E.S stands for? R, restate the question. A, answer the question. C, cite your evidence. E, explain or expand your ideas. And then S, summarize your answer to conclude. You did it! You made it to the end. Let's see if we got the desired results from this lesson that we wanted. First, can you define the RACES strategy? Do you know what those letters stand for? And then second, are you able to apply this racing strategy to answer your milestone question? Well, you'll be able to find out as you complete the Check Your Understanding activity for Lesson 16. It's the CYU 16. You're going to use the RACES strategy as you answer your achievement milestone question. If you've answered no to either of these two questions, please go back and review the lesson, or please contact me for some help in applying the strategy. I'm happy to help you.